CWP CustomWirePlacer. Welcome, dear LWHarmony community. This is a tutorial about the mod CustomWirePlacer. It aims to extend and improve the vanilla wire placer. For that, it adds new features and controls. To recognize what is new, let us first look at the current vanilla behavior. The vanilla wire placer has several states, with the first being single wire placement, which does exactly that. Wires which go through components or are created between outputs are invalid and outlined red. Non-colliding and valid wires are green. The other important mode which the wire placer provides is multi-wire placement. For that, one draws a wire which connects several packs, and when holding the mod key, these will be selected. One can still release the mod key to go back to single wire placement. But when releasing the draw wire key binding, it stores the first group of packs and goes into something I call stall mode. From here you can select the next group, just like before, but without holding the mod key. Pay attention to colors. Multi-wire placement uses a blue color for packs and of course red and green to indicate if a wire is valid. But you can also see a wire which is drawn between the first and the last pack. Now you might want to connect these D latches to the AND gate, but the AND gate has two packs, so you need to skip every other pack. Multi-wire placement easily allows you this by changing the pack skip interval. This is a very important feature and mandatory for almost every build style. There is one more feature. Often when there are a lot of packs in a group or you are just in the mood, you select the packs in the other way. Then you need to flip the order of packs to place the wires right. This can be done by using the flip key. Finally, there is one more important building technique used by the community. Sometimes you have to connect the packs in one group with each other. You can of course place every wire one by one, but most of the time there are too many packs and it takes too long. You can use multi-wire placement for this too. Start with the first pack and select the second last pack. Then select from the second pack to the last pack. This will connect all the packs with each other properly and faster. All these features are amazing and really speed up building, but there are some cases where some even more advanced features would be helpful. And that is when CustomWirePlacer comes into the game. I just activated CustomWirePlacer and changed its setting to behave very much like the vanilla wire placer, so that we can compare the fundamental differences. When single wire placing, it pretty much behaves the same way, besides that the pack outlines are different. You can see that the starting pack has a different color than the ending pack. This is because their order matters. Let us try multi-wire placement. The selecting process is the same, however when pressing the mod key, the connecting wire disappears. And you might be able to notice that the packs in between the start and end pack have a different color. Once we select the second group, the old group changes its color and there's also no connecting wire. Just like before, we can just release the draw wire key to place down the wires. The skipping of packs also works the same. Except that skip packs are outlined in gray. Flipping of packs also does its job. And the handy trick to connect a row of packs is functional too. Something that is different is that you can undo whole multi-wire placement actions, which the base game currently, version 0.90, does not support. Obviously, there's nothing added to its feature set yet. You only saw that the used colors of CustomWirePlacer are different. Now I'm gonna show you how to install it. For that, one has to download the Econia mod repository from GitHub, link in description and on the game's Discord. But first, let us have a look at its structure. If you have time, please read the instructions on this page. What you need to know is that these folders here are the mod project folders and not the mod folders themselves. Let's open the CustomWirePlacer project. Here again you will find instructions, and the most important information are the dependencies, which are other mods that you need to install for this mod to function. The actual mod is in the folder inside the project directory. In there you will always find a manifest.suck file, which LogicWorld tries to detect. To download the mods, press the code button followed by download zip. Now open the game folder. You can do this via Steam or press one of the many open folder buttons inside of LogicWorld. Here you can find saves, screenshots, backups, but most important, the game data folder. Open it. By default, there's only the base mod here. You want to add all mods that you want to use into this folder. Extract the mod repository zip file and open it. Now you should select all mods that you want to use. And for CustomWirePlacer, you need a few. Besides CustomWirePlacer, you also need LWHarmony, DllUtil, which allow you hijacking the game, and X-Window Helper, which helps opening LogicWorld windows. These are the minimum choice. Since CustomWirePlacer uses Harmony, and this breaks the compiler, you will also have to install FixCompilerOnClient to not run into a black screen when you install more mods. And since with CustomWirePlacer you have a higher chance of running into a history bug, you should also install FixClientBugs. Copy the mod folders over, not the project folders. Now start the game. Now, with CustomWirePlacer installed, you are not seeing any difference. And that is because I have most features turned off. CustomWirePlacer comes with a built-in settings window for quick access and technical reasons. It is not included in the main settings. To open it, you look at a pack and press the draw wire key, which starts CustomWirePlacer. And then you press the settings key. By default, this is H. These settings toggle features and change the behavior. In this tutorial, we're slowly gonna go over them. For now, let me show you how to go back to the default behavior if you somehow messed up. Open the Windows settings. Here you can change the scale and reset all the settings of CustomWirePlacer. Now this is more like what you will see when you first start with CustomWirePlacer. You can see a few settings have turned on. Many players, especially new ones, have the help overlay enabled. You can toggle the help overlay while using CustomWirePlacer. While in the building state, CustomWirePlacer adds its own help overlay to the normal one. It tells you how to start CustomWirePlacer and how to start an alternative mode. CustomWirePlacer instructs us to click a pack to start it. But additionally, we can hold the alternative modifier key to get a different behavior. As you can see, it allows placing a wire and a pack at the same time. Not technically. If you undo this, it is 2 operations. Nevertheless, quite a handy feature. Once you start a CustomWirePlacer action, you can see that the overlays change their content. Because depending on what you do, there are different actions possible. For this tutorial, however, I decided to turn off the help overlay and leave it up to you to read it. Besides that, I will also turn off every setting again and turn them on as we go over them, so that you do not get confused by them. It is important that you understand the rough states of CustomWirePlacer. Basically, there's not much of a difference to the vanilla WirePlacer. When selecting a group, you can release the draw wire key and CustomWirePlacer will apply its action, if possible. This is currently single wire placement. But just as with the vanilla WirePlacer, you can hold the mod key to go into stall mode. In stall mode, you can move your camera freely and continue to modify the current group, with, for example, skipping packs. In most cases, you only need to set the first and the last primary pack of your group and can perform any other edit in the stall mode. This allows you to get a better angle of view and time to relax your fingers due to not holding the draw wire key down. As soon as you press draw wire again, the next group will be started. And again, if you release draw wire, it applies the action. With mod, it goes into stall mode again, where you can edit the second group. Now let's say you are in stall mode, but you want to apply the action, but you can no longer release draw wire. For that, there's a special key binding called apply default action, mapped to B. But what happens if we are in stall mode of the second group and use draw wire again? Well, you guessed it, easy bus creation. CustomWirePlacer adds a lot of features to improve how you select packs. Let's say we want to connect these 4 packs. As you can see, one pack is not getting selected. Now, to know why a pack is not getting selected, you can turn on the visibility of the raycasting ray that collects packs. Now you can clearly see that the ray is passing by the pack, although in this simplified example it might have been obvious anyway. Let's get to a more legit example. Assume you want to select all the packs of these panel displays. As you can see, due to the height of the packs, it is not a trivial task and normally requires you to perform multiple multi-wire placement actions. But CustomWirePlacer allows you to change where it collects packs. Let's raycast at the bottom of the packs. Now you can see that all the packs are selected. There is one more use case for this feature. But in most situations, you won't need this feature. So for now, let us turn it off again. I'm now gonna show you the probably most useful feature of CustomWirePlacer. I personally would not want to miss it ever again, but form your own opinion. One of the biggest problems that the current vanilla WirePlacer has is that one always has to fly back and forth when working with many packs. That is why CustomWirePlacer adds the expand feature. It allows you to collect packs if the collection ray would go further than the first and last primary pack you selected. You can, within milliseconds, select many packs, while just starting with selecting 2 packs and not moving long distances. Since this feature is quite important, by default it is on the rotation keys E and Q, where E is for forward expansion and Q for backward. E, Q, E, Q. So don't fret to start to select in the middle of a group of packs, since you can expand in both directions. As you already saw, expansion always tries to select a section of packs, with the same distance between them. You need to press expansion again to select another section. The distance between sections can be of any length. It can handle most situations. Most, not all. Personally, I would have collected both of these packs. Expanding has a setting to limit its capabilities for some use cases. Uniform expand distance. When this setting is enabled, any new section must have the same distance between the packs as the original section. You see that it otherwise collects single packs, because a single pack is a section with just one pack and there's no distance between packs. Maybe you will find a use case for this. The feature is there and I'm gonna turn it off again. When expanding, it is very likely that you mess up and press expand too often. For that, expanding allows you to stepwise change the pack amount. To do this, hold the expand key for the direction you need and scroll with the mouse wheel. You can modify both directions at the same time. Makes quite the nice visualizer. With expanding, we can also solve the previous problem of selecting panel displays. For that, just select two of the shortest pegs and expand. I did not address this yet, but the expanded pegs also have their own outline color. In case you wonder, expanding will not collect more than 1,000 pegs at once. And even that already lags a lot, because LogicWorld has to create an outline for each and every of the selected pegs. Maybe now is a good time to introduce the status overlay. It shows the amount of chosen pegs per group and the amount of expanded pegs, as well as some other information which we will need for the next feature. The vanilla wire placer provides peg skipping when multi-wire placement. CustomWirePlacer, however, adds a few features on top. For this, let's better enable outline fill in the settings. You can skip pegs just like in vanilla, and will be able to see the amount of pegs that are being skipped in the status overlay. However, sometimes you start with the wrong peg, and you want to change the origin of where the skipping begins. CustomWirePlacer allows you to do this by holding the Alt key and using the mouse wheel. Note how the pegs spread away or move to the origin. Let's mess up. We're gonna have a ridiculous value for the offset move. But now we need to scroll all the way back. This is annoying. Hence, by default, the origin offset gets reset when the skipping is set to 0. This is the normal skip mode, where n pegs will be skipped. N is what you choose with your mouse wheel. However, there's a group skip mode. You can switch between both modes. The default key for that is T. You can see that the first pegs are now getting skipped and the status overlay text changed. Further, n pegs gonna be skipped and then n pegs gonna be selected. What is this good for, you might ask? For that, let us turn on the round to binary setting. Then it becomes much more obvious. The binary group mode is primarily made for decoder building. In a decoder, you need to select groups of n pegs, where n is a binary place number. Note that the rounding setting will also be applied when switching between skip modes. But you do not have to round to binary, yet you can preserve its multiply divide by 2 behavior. When you are planning on using this to get sequences that are multiple of 3 or 5, you can switch back to normal skipping to adjust the starting value by normal incrementing and decrementing, and go back into the group mode to get your sequence values. Because if you scroll down too much or start with a skip number of 1, you will get the binary sequence. As a professional LogicWorld user, you are aware of how to connect the row of pegs. As shown before, select the first to the second last and the second to the last peg. But a professional needs professional tools. So let us turn on the setting which connects wires in a single group. Boom, there you go. Very quick peg connecting. And now let's combine this with the expand feature. Now that is professional wire placement speed. This feature is straightforward. It just connects all pegs inside the first group. This feature does not like normal skipping. But binary skipping works well. But you might see with this feature on, the ray visibility might look a little bit weird. But it is not a full replacement of the ray, because these direct wires can be bent. But for now, let us turn that off. You should know the concept by now. The direct wires do disappear as soon as you start a second group. A downside of this feature is that when you want to connect two packs, but there is one in the way, it will connect that pack as well. And the only indicator is the outline color of the wires. The green becomes darker, the red becomes brighter. There's a situation that I encountered a few times. When you're selecting packs, there's one which does not fit in. This mostly happens when you have a compact circuit where many components connect to one single pack. For that, CustomWirePlacer provides a blacklist. Once a pack is added to that blacklist, it will be skipped and outlined red. You can see this quite well with the Connect Wires in First Group feature. To toggle packs being part of the blacklist, hold Alt while clicking a pack. It will toggle every pack you look at until you release the Draw Wire key. You can blacklist as many packs as you need. But what if you select packs that are not part of the current selection? These will become whitelisted, appended to the end of your selected pack list. This allows for some free-form connecting of wires. Maybe you find another use case except intro scenes like in this video. Keep in mind that whitelisted packs are not part of the skipping. They are set to always be included. Now let us get to the big feature. Back before LogicWorld was released, beta player used to stream it. And for example, Daniel loved to make 2D painting devices, where he had huge wall of packs. Back then, most of them had been through sockets though. Now imagine there to be even more packs to connect, or worse, displays with multiple packs. And at this point, just imagine the pain of connecting them. You have to process them row by row or column by column. Even back then, the community asked for 2D multi-wire placement, and I proudly present to you (2D multi-wire placement). So how does it work? You start by selecting one axis. This axis contains all the starting packs. Then you press the 2D key, which by default is 2. But you might not always know if you have the 2D modifier activated or not. For that, you can turn on the status overlay modifier setting. So with the 2D modifier enabled and the first axis being drawn, you can create the second axis, which defines the offsets between the start packs and the following packs. Note that the second axis does not need to be part of the selected packs. It only defines the distance between packs to collect. Even its position is not relevant. You can see that the Connect Packs in one group feature is doing its magic already. Even without a second group, the 2D feature is already useful combined with this feature. But now with the first group defined, you can select the second group, and the shape of either does not matter, but the total pack count should match. The overlay also shows the amount of packs in first and second axis. Skipping, of course, also can be combined with 2D mode. As well as white and blacklisting. You just saw me very quickly selecting the next group. Did you pay attention to the modifiers? It quickly showed the Apply Pattern modifier. This is a very simple tool which tries to apply the same pattern of selected packs to the next group. Let's make a very simple form of a complex pattern with what we learned. We're gonna select the first 2 packs, expand to all but the last 3 packs, skip by 2, but blacklist this pack and whitelist the last pack. Now we want to apply this pattern to the group over here. So we press the modifier key and click the first pack of the second group. As you can see, it applied everything we said. The expansion, the skipping, the blacklist, and the whitelist. The pattern will always use the first pack as origin, which is why the first pack is always highlighted in a different outline. Have a look at the first pack of the first group. The outline is more yellowish instead of orange. The apply pattern feature tries to apply a pattern even if it can't. So let us misplace the origin pack to, let's say, only 4 packs. As you can see, it applied what it could, but for example skipped the whitelist because the pack in question is not there. There's another limitation, and that is rotation. The pattern cannot be rotated. It must have the same alignment. But it is nevertheless useful for a lot of situations. Let's say you got an intern to help you building the bus of your CPU, but something is not quite right with it. Here we got such a bus. You get the feeling that something is wrong and want to redo it. So this is how you do it. You select it like normal. But there are still the old wires disturbing you, so just press the remove key R. The old wires are gone and you can apply the new ones. Suddenly your bus is fixed. This feature removes all wires between 2 groups, given you have 2 groups selected. Removing wires is its own undo action, placing wires in another. If there is only 1 group selected, you can also remove the wires, but that fully removes all wires. Also quite useful, at least faster than removing wires by hand. This was all the world editing features. You should now be able to master wire placement with CustomWirePlacer. But let's go over the settings again. You know what almost all of them do. Let me show you the remaining ones. Let's connect these lamps to the inverter output. Easy. But what if you want to start with the inverter? Sometimes one wants to only have 1 pack in the first group. It does not work. CustomWirePlacer rejects the selection of the pack with a good reason. I cannot really give a statement what the vanilla WirePlacer would do, since it throws an error when attempting this. But you can make CustomWirePlacer allow that the first group only has 1 pack. So why is it off by default? Let us place a dense row of packs. It works well if you're good with controlling your camera, but chances are high that you accidentally press a pack while holding the mod key. In this case, CustomWirePlacer instantly goes into stall mode and you cannot place the next pack. You are captured in CustomWirePlacer and need to abort before continuing. So in the end, it's personal preference. The next setting not discussed is Include Settings. This basically adds a highlight to the status overlay, showing that raycasting is done at the bottom of packs or that the expand distance is uniform, because both settings can confuse you if they are accidentally turned on. The other settings are less confusing, thus not included. Let's reset the settings again and have a look at the default choice. Raycasting at the bottom of packs is only useful in some cases and not in general. Uniform expand distance is also a special use case. The raycasting ray is not that helpful if connecting wires in a single group is on. Hence, these first 3 settings are turned off by default. Connecting wires in a single group is turned on since it's a super handy feature and needed much more often, although one has to get used to it. Since, as shown just now, having the first group be one pack is dangerous, this is off too. For skipping, the group mode is by default in binary skipping. It was made for binary mode in the first place. And the origin reset is on by default too, because I think that if you set the skipping interval to 0, you want to start over. The status overlay is on, since it's super useful. So are the modifiers included, since one might click them by accident or forget if you click them. It is better to be able to see their state. The settings are not included in the status overlay, because they make the window bigger, and if you know what you do, they are not required to be listed there. Since most users opening CustomWirePlacer for the first time are overwhelmed by this video, or did not even watch it, they need the help to be open by default. And it is the official help for this mod. In this tutorial I decided to have most settings off by default to show you step by step how things work. But this is how you get greeted by CustomWirePlacer on the first start. As final step, let's have a look at the help overlay. You can see that the list of key bindings does not fit onto the window. Some simple ones and known ones have been moved to the bottom. The important and special ones are visible at the top. In the right help box you can see the features that are simple to toggle, or the entry points for more complex features. The top middle box contains advanced features and the current state of CustomWirePlacer. Pack drawing. Drawing first group 1 pack. Drawing first group multiple packs. Stall mode of first group. Drawing second group. Stall mode of second group. And starting another group in bus mode just goes back to drawing second group. Further, you need the second primary pack of a group to be set to get help for expand. It reacts when the expand keys are pressed down. And that is pretty much all about it. This was the official tutorial video of how to use CustomWirePlacer. I hope you will enjoy CustomWirePlacer and love this mod as much as I do. It was a huge amount of fun to develop this mod, and I hope that some of the features will make it into the base game eventually. Thank you for watching. Feel free to leave a comment, or ping me on the official LogicWorld Discord server if you want to talk about this mod.